Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now, down below this video. Please hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I go live, like now, or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful Asexual Perspectives, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity book, and that's 47 asexual stories, real life asexual stories. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre school for asexuals and asexuality. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. So what is making love with the tongue? So as we all know, making love usually involves genitals. And so when heterosexuals say making love, they mean sex, but there's more to it than that. Rather than just sticking their bit in, there's other stuff that goes on, like the foreplay and lots of other sort of stuff, like the touching, the kissing, the caressing, rather than just straightforward sex. That's basically the difference between making love and sex. Sex is just guys that basically all stick it in you. Do you know what I mean? It's just straightforward sex. Whereas I'm talking about guys because obviously I'm heteromantic, so I'm only attracted to guys. And so, you know, that's basically sex, and then making love still finishes pretty much the same way, but there's lots of different stuff that leads up to the actual sex itself, and it's a lot more loving and sensual experience than just a guy sticking his bit in. So that's kind of like the difference. But what is making love with the tongue? Well, I thought I was the only asexual that really got this concept and that really liked to make love with the tongue, right? And I came across a guy on Asexuality. Well, I didn't exactly come across him. He messaged me. So asexuality.com is an asexual dating website for asexuals, basically. And this guy approached me. He is British and he looks younger than he is, but in birth certificate age, he's around the same sort of age as me in birth certificate age. But he does look much younger, but he's got facial hair. I'm not keen on facial hair. So he was describing you know, things that he likes in a relationship, and he saw my profile because I put in my profile now that I like tongue kissing, and so he was saying he likes that also. And the conversation went on, and we understood each other, that we like both the same types of kissing, which was basically, as we call it, making love with the tongue. And I never actually heard a guy really say that before, like say it and he exactly knew what it meant. But with him, you know, he was like the same as me. Like he was like, oh, I could just kiss for hours. And this is when we say making love with the tongue, it literally is the tongue that's doing the work. It's French kissing, basically. But you know, obviously you can alternate if you want to. You don't have to use the tongue, but obviously as we're talking making love with the tongue, it's, you know, the tongue's involved. And so he said, like I can kiss like for 3 or 4 hours pretty much like most of the time, you know? And I don't get bored of it. I find the whole experience really euphoric, really sensual, really amazing, really exciting, really energetic. For me, it's like a full body workout because I have body movements that go with it. I can't help, it's involuntary. And so, you know, it's just quite a really good experience for me, providing I've got the right guy who reciprocates that. And so we were talking on that, and yeah. And so making love with the tongue, like he explained it, he said, you know, it's like 3 or 4 hours, like you sit there and you just like kiss and like, you know, and it's just like the tongue. It's like, I like controlled kissing, right? I don't like a guy who's like a lizard kissing me. And obviously it has to be someone ideally that I'm highly aesthetically attracted to. If I'm not really that aesthetically attracted to him, and I, you know, I haven't got that desire to actually have that close mouth contact with him, then it's not going to work, because it's not going to be making love with the tongue. It's going to be disaster with the tongue, right? I'm not going to want to do that. I'm just going to like not be able to do that, right? But having said that, there are like last you know, like in April, I did actually kiss a British guy, which I wasn't sure I could do because I haven't kissed a British guy for like properly since 2011, and so it was really strange experience at first, but I was only doing little pecks at first because I didn't know if I'd like the tongue kissing with him, because usually it's foreign guys. But yeah, I did actually, once I got used to it, I really liked it. But there was a lot of chemistry there, even though I don't like sex. And so, you know, I really think it has to be someone you're really highly aesthetically attracted to. And if you're not, you know, you'd have to just try it out a little bit first. I'm not sure how that would go. You really need the aesthetic attraction, because obviously you're going to be spending a part of your life with, if you're intending to have a long-term relationship, with your tongue in their mouth. So it's kind of like you're sharing that body part. So you're not sharing genitals, but you're sharing that body part with the other person, and it's a very, very intimate thing. It's a very sensual thing. Obviously, if you're a person who's repulsed by French kissing, you'll absolutely hate this conversation and probably want to go off and watch another video somewhere. But for those of you who like kissing or are open to the idea of French kissing, then it can be to me, the most wonderful, pleasurable physical experience with your partner. Because I'm not interested in genitals, right? I don't care. If a guy's impotent, that's fine by me, because I don't need his penis right in me, because I'm asexual. I'm not interested in sex, and I don't need that erect either. If it happens, it happens. I don't mind, you know, if the guy naturally does that, it's fine also. But I don't need, you know, I don't, when I'm kissing, I don't need that. But if it happens, it happens. I'm not bothered about it either way, so long as the guy's closed. And this is the other point with the guy on Asexuality. He really understood me, and I thought, wow, I found a guy that really understands me. He's really young as well. We like, you know, interested in some of the same things, but there's a huge but. He likes the female body. He loves the female body and all the caressing and that. And I don't like that, because I am nudity repulsed. I do not want to show my body off naked to a guy. And I don't appreciate a guy who goes round thinking every woman's body's great, because I hate that. I can't stand the female naked body. I really got, the only female naked body I love is my own. And that is true. I absolutely adore my own female body. It's taken me probably years to actually get as confident and happy with my female body in my mind. So and now I love it. You know, I can't get enough of it when I'm coming out of the shower and stuff. I think it's wonderful, you know. But it's kind of like it's mine for myself. I don't need to show it off to people. And if I was to show it to anyone, it would just be my partner. But if he was going around thinking every female body's great, then that's probably fine in general, but not fine for someone like that to be in a relationship with me, because I don't like that. I can't stand it. I don't want to sit there and watch nudity in any films, for example, or statues, or on TV. I can't stand it. And if a guy I was in a relationship with was doing that, it would just irritate the heck out of me. So, you know, I kind of like want to be the only body that he's really interested in, like, intensely, do you know what I mean, and likes looking at, you know, like that's the way I feel, do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a faithfulness type thing in a way. I expect a guy is going to find other people pretty or beautiful or attractive in some ways, but just with the body, it's just like, ugh, do you know what I mean? Because I have a real repulsion for it, really, really against that type of thing. So yeah, so making love with the tongue is like really controlled kissing. And it's like, really, you like put your mouth in the person's mouth like quite fully, and like you'll move it around a lot. It's like you're really feeling the inside of their mouth, or their inside, you know, with their tongue going around it. They're like a washing machine. That's a really bad analogy. Oh dear. But hopefully you get what I mean. But yeah, it's a very controlled kissing where you're both tongues are like both moving and twine and doing a dance, and maybe one person's tongue goes into the other person's mouth more than the other person goes in, and it's kind of like, you know, there's a lot of stuff you could do with the tongue and try out. But I like the controlledness. I don't like a guy who's kind of doing this or this, kind of like really controlled kissing. Because if it's controlled, it's more sensual, because it's like, it's, how can I describe it? It's more like you've got a solid foundation in which to move and work around. So it feels a lot more sensual, a lot more beautiful, a lot more nicer than someone who's just going like this. It's like a snake. I don't like that. So yeah, making love with a tongue can be a very, very powerful, sensual, amazing, exhilarating, enthralling experience. And I absolutely adore it. And I do need a guy like that in the relationship. Like, obviously sexuals can have sex for hours, or well, maybe not have the actual sex for hours, but want to have sex like lots and lots of times regularly. I don't get that. I'm not interested in sex. I don't, even if I'm passionately kissing the guy for 3 or 4 hours, I never want the sex with him. It just doesn't happen. It's just, I don't get the need, urge, or want for it. If I ever did it, it would just be to make them happy because they like that type of thing, not because I'm actually wanting to do that. Do you know what I mean? So and I don't need to do that again. Do you know what I mean? Because I can get an asexual guy now in the future, suitable one for me. And so, I just think, making love with a tongue is one of the most beautiful experiences that personally I can have in terms of intimacy with a person. Like, everyone on the asexual spectrum is at different levels of intimacy, and this is what it's really hard, makes it really hard to find a suitable relationship, because a lot of asexuals, they don't want that much intimate kissing. They might like a little peck on the cheek, a little peck on the lips, but that's about it. Some like open mouth kissing, and others just like can't stand any tongue kissing. They think that exchanging fluids of the mouth's disgusting. Personally, I love it because if I love my partner, it's great for me. I quite happy to have their fluids in my mouth. Their mouth fluids, not their genital fluids in my mouth. Do you know what I mean? And it's all good. It's just like, you've got to, like, obviously you need hygiene, so you need to really clean your teeth before you're doing this, because it's not a very, very good experience. If one person's ate onions or garlic, the other person hasn't, then that's a big no-no, really. You have to be eating the same types of foods with the same odors and stuff. Obviously, if you've got bits in your teeth, that's not good. So you need to be cleaning your teeth, like have mints or mint. If you're out, then chewing gum, mint chewing gum, and stuff like that. And I don't like alcohol. Like, I don't drink any alcohol, so I would prefer to French kiss a guy that hadn't drunk alcohol, because I don't like the taste of it, to be honest. I don't eat red meat either, so that would, that's hard. But I still done tongue kissing with a guy who eats red meat, and it wasn't that bad, actually. In fact, I quite forgot about it, really, when I got going, because I was so engrossed in the kissing. So yeah, and it's also like drink and stuff to get rid of as much bits in their mouth as possible, then that's good. And usually, most of the time when I kiss them a lot, it's usually at home at my place. They can clean their teeth, because I usually get a spare toothbrush if I've got a partner, if they're staying around my place. So yeah, I think it's really important to know what you like in a relationship, and I find it very, very difficult, the fact that I love tongue kissing so much. It's very, like, addictive, I guess, but in a good way. I think it's very euphoric. I think I burn a lot of calories doing something like that, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience to me. And it's like, the physicality of it with my partner. It's like, I'm not interested in a guy below the waist, but his mouth, his face, his eyes, his hair, his shoulders, his arms, his chest, all that type of thing I love. I find that I want to be very sensual with the upper body, from the waist upwards, not the waist downwards. And so I really like, if I get attracted to a guy, I get attracted to his face, his lips, his eyes, his arms. I'm talking about in terms of aesthetics, and his frame, like if he's thin but he's got quite nice shoulders, that type of thing, short brown hair, clean shaven, that's really attractive to me. And so, I just think it's really good. Although the British guy didn't have brown hair, he had blonde. I don't mind blonde spiky hair. I like blonde spiky hair as well. It's nice. So I think you've really in order to really enjoy tongue kissing, it's got to be with someone that you really love. It's got to be someone who you're compatible with. It's got to be someone you're highly aesthetically attracted to want to do it that much. It's got to be someone who will let you be yourself doing that. The last thing you want is to end up in a relationship where the person doesn't want that, or they don't want it as much as you, or and you feel like you're doing it and you just feel like they're not appreciating it or liking it or wanting it. I mean, you don't want that, do you? It's not nice for them or for you. And so I really need a guy who will let me explore my sensual mouth kissing with him and who will really be into that. Sexuals often need to feel wanted sexually. They want to be desired in a sexual way. I don't want to be desired in a sexual way, but want to be desired in a passionate tongue kissing way. That's what I really want, to be desired in that way. Like, I really want to kiss you badly, come here now type thing. Like, let's have mouth kissing now all the time. But I like kissing, when I'm on a train. I think that's quite cute, tongue kissing on a train together. And like waiting for, like evening queues and stuff, I'd probably do that. But I'm going red now and shy. But especially on trains, like when you can actually like kind of like hide behind the seats and do that in private to a certain extent, but everyone can see at the same time. I think that's quite nice. And I get like a little kid when I talk about this, because to me it's very like teenager style relationship, and I love a teenager style relationship, but I like it 24/7. I like all the passion, all the sitting on the guy's lap, all the cuddling, all the hugging. I remember when I was 15, like I had some bad experiences, but I also had some really good ones, where I was literally kissing the guy and passionately with the tongue, and I like all the naivety and innocence about teenage relationship. Like, probably not so much nowadays, but years ago, it's like sex is off the table, so it means you do other things, and it means you can be kissing and cuddly together, and bestest ever friends. And I think a lot of society has lost that type of relationship these days. It's not based on that young teenager free but very much best friend love. It's based on sex, ego, swiping to get the next fix of the person that comes into contact with you. It's very much focused on not being on with one person the rest of your life, but just basically being, having disposable people, like, oh, I'll be with this person one day, I'll not be this person another. And a lot of people don't understand that relationships take hard work. They think it's just going to be easy. I mean, a relationship is going to open up fears. It's going to open up anxieties, because you're exposing yourself to being exposed with another individual in one of the most intimate ways possible, emotionally, physically, romantically, spiritually. You're opening your heart and soul to them. And of course, you could potentially get very, very hurt. But that doesn't mean to say we should give up. And it doesn't mean to say we should go away from something that's really good, If you have an opportunity and you see there's so many positives about it, like, don't let fear and negativity and anxiety hold you back. You should just really go for what you want, It's like, I can't be with a guy who doesn't desire me in the strong kissing, tongue kissing way, because I just feel like I can't kiss him very much. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to restrict myself because I'll be worried about what he thinks all the time, worried about if he's not enjoying himself, worried about, that I can't express myself in that way. And so it was really nice to find the guy on Asexuality. It's a shame that he's high, he loves basically the naked body and the female body so much, and all the caressing and all that type of thing. So, but yeah, I really prefer to be physically close to a foreign guy in general. But I'm still open to some British guys, but it's just like foreign guys, it comes naturally for me to be close to them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas British guys, they take a little bit more work, I think, some of them. But yeah, unless I find a British guy that's going to be really my best friend's soulmate and really want a relationship with me and want the same type of relationship with me, then I can't ever see that happening. In terms of foreign guys, it's very difficult to get a romantic foreign guy, asexual guy for a relationship in the UK. It's really difficult, especially a suitable one. So anyway, yeah, I think if you are gonna do making love with the tongue, you literally can only do it with someone who you really truly love, because it's called making love. you know, and you only want to be that intimate with someone you really trust, someone who you can be inhibition free with as well. I can't be with someone who's worried all the time about me kissing like that. Like when I first went on the asexual dating site, you know, there's this asexual Indian guy who lived in India, so it wasn't like I was ever going to meet him in my life. He goes, oh, I'd be worried about a relationship with you, that it would, you know, because of the way you like to kiss, it'd be too sexual, you know, and I do understand that, but you know, I don't want sex. It's really hard when you know you don't want sex, you know you don't like nudity. I don't need to show a guy my body, but you just purely enjoy the bliss of kissing in that way, in that very intimate, controlled, beautiful manner. And you know, when you are so euphoric over it, when you love it so much and really want to share that with a special person, it's very difficult because you have to try and find that person or hope they find you, you know. And the only way I can usually get that type of kissing is being with a sexual guy. And you can't long term, that's not sustainable, is it? Do you know what I mean? Long term, that just really isn't sustainable, because no sexual guy, the majority of the time, is going to want to be in a sexless relationship. You know, there are very few exceptions to the rule. You know, there's someone in my asexual perspective book, and they're with a bisexual, and the lack of sex didn't matter. But I mean, imagine if a sexual guy was kissing me like that. It's very difficult for them. I mean, I have been with sexual guys and kissed like that. You know, they've had to be controlled guys, strong guys in that way. But I don't think they could last for a long time, the same period of time like that. I don't think it would happen. They probably try and push, or they just have affairs all the time. I'm done with guys who have affairs. I'm sick of it. I don't want that type of thing. I want a really good quality guy for me, you know? That's why I'm open. I am open to other guys that I didn't used to be, such as British guys, because I want a really decent guy for me in lots of ways, you know, like values, morals, beliefs, wanting the same type of lifestyle, the same type of things as me, you know, not wanting kids, not wanting marriage, not wanting sex, okay with not living together, you know, all those types of things. I want that, you know, so that's why I would consider being with the British guy if he was right for me. Even though aesthetically overall I'm much more attracted to foreign guys, which is why I know I can do that type of kissing with them. But the British guy I was with for not very long, although he wasn't suited for me in terms of needs, wants, personality in the end, and we weren't compatible, and lifestyle and stuff, you know, it was still a good experience kissing a British guy. So I have that to say about it. So, you know, I think that, you know, if you love kissing, if you really adore kissing, then I think you should try and find a compatible person for you, you know, because if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with someone, I want the freedom to be able to express myself in that way, the freedom to be able to be me. And I think wherever you fall on the asexual spectrum, it's difficult because you kind of might have to compromise on some things. But, you know, if you really feel that the way you like to kiss is part of expressing your freedom and who you are, then I don't think you should be chained down in walls or like prison cells, figuratively speaking, by being with someone who won't allow you to completely be free in that way, because you'll always be worried about what they think. I mean, I can do open mouth kissing and not much tongue kissing. I did that with a heterosexual guy I dated in 2017, but I did want to do the French kissing. I tried just a little tiny bit, but I knew I wasn't comfortable with it, so I just didn't really go there, you know. And so it really is important that if you do like making love with the tongue, if that type of tongue mouth intimacy is really important, you do try and find a compatible person with you, because I want every asexual to be as free as possible, to be themselves. You know, life is so restrictive as it is in some ways in terms of asexuality, you know, because we're kind of confined in some ways to a corner in the society. But hopefully with all the asexual activism and all these type of videos and loads of other asexuals around the globe that are all doing these videos and coming out, hopefully, you know, we're not so backed into a corner anymore. We're not so confined. We're more free to be ourselves. I mean, I was quite shocked today when I saw Facebook had a lot of gifts for asexuals specifically. So it means Facebook is recognizing asexuality more, finally, about time, because I haven't been able to use the full word asexual and the HTTP address in Facebook. So hopefully that's changed or gonna change. It'd be great if it did. But I really think it's important to, you know, to just live your truth in life, you know. And if that means you're different to other asexuals, it means you're different, you know. It's hard being different to other asexuals, you know. It's really difficult, but I think you just have to stick to being you. And I think you have to do what gives you pleasure in life, and hopefully you'll find a compatible person who'll love the same type of pleasure as you. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful, interesting in some way. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, please share it with a friend. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And don't forget, I will see you on the next video or live stream. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.